Hello and welcome to episode 48 of the Arctic Knitting Podcast. My name is Emilia and I am as always coming to you from the northern part of Norway in the Arctics where it is currently freezing. Anyway, you can find me all over the internet as Arctic Knitting and Arctic Yarns. My website is arcticyarns.com. There you can find links to everything else, and they will also be popping up on the screen right now where you can find me to follow me. And if you want to get in touch with me, please send me an email. I will say that I do respond to messages on Instagram and Ravelry as well, but it takes a little bit longer and I tend to lose track. So if you're asking me, especially if there is something related to Arctic Yarns, send me an email, because if you send me it on Ravelry or Instagram and ask me about something, and then I will just forget it. I remember someone asked and I can't remember where it came from. So email, that's the place to be. Today I will talk with you. I have a little bit of admin stuff and I have quite a few finished objects. I actually have 3 garments. It's been 2 weeks and I finished 3 garments. So I have some finished objects, I have a couple of works in progress, and then I actually have a shop update. So admin stuff first. My latest design, the Lily Tin hat. I'm currently hosting a knit along for this, which is going on over in the Ravelry group. So if you are knitting this, I know that quite a few people are knitting this, please put it up on the thread on Ravelry and be eligible for prizes. And you can also, if you post it to Instagram, because I see people are posting this to Instagram and using a lot of different hashtags. I basically have 2 hashtags regarding my designs and yarns that I follow, and that is, I'm putting it up on the screen, Arctic Knitting Design and Arctic Yarns. Those are the 2 main hashtags. I do check out the Lily Tin hat hashtag and the Lily Tin hashtag, but I don't get around to following every hashtag for all the patterns I have. So Arctic Knitting Design is the place to post, or the hashtag to use, so that you make sure that I see so that you can make sure that I see your post, because I would really love to see. I've seen so many different versions of this, many in blue and white, which is what I chose, and that is because I think it's gorgeous. But also I've seen it in lots of different color combination, and there are so many gorgeous Lily Tin hats over at both Instagram and Ravelry. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say. I have talked about this I knit mine in Arctic Yarns. In the color is Water from the World's End on the Celia base, and it's an undyed skein of Ask yarn. And I have sold kits for this in the store, which unfortunately, I said last time that if you wanted to buy a kit, you should let me know, because I could make more. Unfortunately, I have decided that I am not going to make more this time around, because it's only 2 weeks until Edinburgh and I don't see that I have the time to do it. So talking about Edinburgh, 2 weeks. I'm leaving in 2 weeks. Less than 2 weeks, because today is Wednesday. We are leaving, it's me and 2 friends, also from the northern part of Norway. And we are leaving for Edinburgh on Tuesday, and we are staying until Monday. So we are actually staying for a whole week in Edinburgh. And we are really much looking forward to both the festival, and we hope to see the city a little bit more. So if anyone is there, the festival I think starts on Thursday. There's a Wednesday knit night. But if anyone is there for Tuesday and Wednesday and want to meet up and check out the art stores or something like that, drop me a message, because I would love to meet some people the first 2 days as well. Yeah, I'm really much looking forward to going to Edinburgh and meeting so many great people. The last thing that I wanted to mention before we start talking about finished object is that I have made, if you go to my website, arcticyarns.com, and scroll all the way down, there's a little box there which says subscribe to my newsletter. Quite a few of you have already found that box and subscribed, but basically I just wanted to let you know that I'm making a newsletter for Arctic Yarns and Arctic Knitting Designs. It's both of them are going to be the same newsletter. I'm not going to send out tons of emails. I'm going to send you an email whenever I update the shop, because I don't have any regular shop updates. I update whenever I have the time. So when I update the shop, I will send an email, and when I launch a new pattern, I will send an email with a coupon code. And that's all. I'm not going to send you 3 emails a week telling you this is my favorite pattern or something like that. So if you want to know what I'm up to, or if you want to know what's going in the store and want to know when things are going in the store, because some colors and bases tends to sell out quite quickly, or at least I have done this year, which I'm really thankful for. And also sometimes I put up other things, like maybe a project bag here and there, and things that is not available all the time. And if you want to know about that at the time when I put it up, just subscribe to that newsletter and you will get an email at the same time. I will send out that email I will not send out the email many hours earlier. I will send out the email when I push update on the store, because that's just the easiest way for me to do it. So let's talk about finished object. Maybe we should start with, let's start with the smallest one. Let us start with a pair of socks. So I have made a design. So this is my newest design. It's a pair of socks. Let me see. You saw that. I haven't sewn in the ends. But this is top-down socks. I have used 3 colorways. You could get away with using 2 as well. And here it is. The gauge is 24 stitches on 10 centimeters, and the yarns that I have used is not here. There it is. I've used this bag which I sewn myself. The yarn that I have used is PT5 Sport, which is a yarn from Rauma. It is, this is all I have left of the blue one. It is sport weight sock yarn with wool and nylon. This is the yarn. I have only a tiny amount left of the blue one. So I used 50 grams of each skein. I have a little bit left. I'll show you. I have a little bit left of the blue, but not much. So if you want to make longer cuffs or something, you would need to buy 2 skeins of the blue. But for this version, you will get away with 1 skein of each color, and those are 50 gram skeins, if I didn't mention. So these are top down, cast on here, just a few rounds of ribbing, and then there are different charts. It has a short row heel, German short row heel, which I'm writing up for the first time, and it has stripes under the foot. And I don't know what this toe is called. It's just a toe that my grandmother taught me, and it's the only toe that I have in it, so basically that's it. This has the Selby star, and it has some snowflakey thing up here, which is also in between down here. And yeah, this pattern is, as I said, it's designed by me. I will put it out in women's size, 1 size only, and if you want to knit it for larger feet, then you will need to go up a needle side and make the gauge a little bit looser, or maybe use a DK instead of sport weight. I'm not completely sure. I'm not completely done with the pattern. I have written up the pattern. I need to go over it 1 more time. I need to take photos, and then I will send it off to tech editing and test knitting, and when that one is done, that will be released. So hopefully it will be released within 2 weeks. I hope to have this up there before Edinburgh, so you can go yarn shopping if you are going to Edinburgh, so you can make my socks when you get back home. Yeah, I'm going to talk more about those when they are ready to be released. The next project I showed you last time as a finished object, and it is this one. And now I'm not pleased with this, not at all. I don't think I like it at all. I knitted this as a model for the shop. I work in a yarn store, if you didn't know, if you're a new viewer and didn't know. And basically the reason that I wanted to knit this, I'm going to put up the picture on the screen of the pattern photo so you can see what it looked like there. And it is knit in thin linen and silk mohair, or thin line, silk mohair. There are some Sandnes tweed. All of the yarns are from Sandnes. There are some Sandnes mandarin grande, which is a cotton yarn. There are some Sandnes tweed, I think I said. Sandnes brushed alpaca, which is a brushed alpaca yarn. And yeah, I think there's like 6 different types of yarn in here. Thin line and normal line. Anyway, so I wanted to knit this to try out all different yarns. And it's supposed to be this like big, cozy, oversized sweater. And I knitted a swatch. I didn't do any mats because basically I trusted the pattern to be like on the photo. And I knitted a swatch. I started knitting on it and I knitted it up. I'm completely done before I see that. Basically the model in the photo is probably a size extra small in her body and she is wearing an extra large garment, whilst I have made the small garments, and of course the look that you get from it is completely different. Among other things, this neckline is just, on me it's just, yeah, it's just going to stay up here, and it's supposed to be this like big flary neckline. And I like the garment on the model, but I don't like it. I don't like the garment. I would prefer if I had knitted an extra large, and I'm not an extra large, and I just think that you should have written in the pattern that this model is wearing an extra large garment, because yeah, I knitted from measurements of my body and I didn't think about the fact that maybe the model was wearing a garment which was 7 sizes too big. Also, I haven't sewn this underarm because basically I forgot, but you can see in the raglan here that it's kind of glitchy, especially if you go. So I could sew this a little bit, but I don't think this is very pretty. I did like the yarn, especially you can see here. See if I can show you. This. It's really hard to show you. This stripe here is Sandnes tweed, and I really like knitting with that yarn. It's kind of, it's not heavy, but it's kind of trot, we say in Norway. It's a little bit, I don't know, I will put a word on the screen. It's a little bit difficult, maybe. It's a little bit difficult to knit with, but it turned out really pretty, and I would like to knit a whole garment in that. This black part here, let's see if you can see the texture of it. That is a linen yarn together with a silk mohair yarn, and that is also something that I would really like to knit a whole garment of, because this part it's really soft and cozy because of the linen. No, because of the silk mohair. But at the same time, the linen makes it not floppy. It's very sturdy. My main problem with lots of soft yarn is that they feel like there is no hole in them. It feels like everything is just going to... It drapes very nice, and it's very pretty in shawls and maybe some sorts of dresses, I'm not sure, but in the kind of garments I knit, I don't want that kind of drape. But this one is very soft because of the silk mohair, but it doesn't drape because of the linen. Or it does drape, but not like... Yeah, you can see, it's not crazy soft. So I think that I will have to knit a garment for myself with a linen yarn and a silk mohair yarn held together. The top here is brushed alpaca. It is a yarn that is really popular in Norway right now. It seems like everyone is knitting the Tiril genser or Tiril sweater. I'm not. I kind of want it because it looks big and cozy. The yarn is brushed alpaca. It's super soft, and it's kind of... Let me see the halo. Yeah, it's kind of hairy and really soft and nice, and it knits up quite well. So that's a yarn that I would... It's not a yarn that I say I really need a sweater in this yarn, like this one is. But it is a yarn that I would knit with again, even though it's not my typical style to go with brushed alpaca. But it works, and I would probably... If I find the garment where I think that the kind of yarn would make the right yarn for the garment, I would knit it. Yes, I think I would. So all of the yarns in this sweater really was okay. I'm not sure why I don't. I'm just not very pleased with it. I will see if I can manage to take a photo of me wearing it or something, because this is going to go with me to work tomorrow, and it's going to go on a doll in the store, so maybe I could just take a photo of the doll and show you. I'm not sure. Not my favorite project, let me just tell you that. And also because there's, I mean, sewing in the ends with these stripes, I did do it. But I did think about just leaving them there and hope that no one would ever notice. Because lots of ends and it's in the arms as well. My next finished object is also something that I'm much more pleased with. I don't remember the name of this garment, this sweater. I will put it down below. I think it's by Babbles. Is that her name? The one, or this? I'm not sure, but she's an Icelandic designer and she designs a lot for Istex, which is the company that produces this yarn, which is left open. It's the Icelandic wool. In Norway we just call it Icelandic wool, Islandsull. This is the yarn. It's a rustic wool. It's like the Norwegian wools and the Icelandic wools has a lot in common. This is a new yarn in the store that I work in, because the shopkeeper or the owner asked me if I knew about any yarn that we should have, and I suggested this because I love this yarn. But many people come into the store and they touch it and they say, oh, this is going to itch. This is really itchy. I don't want that, because people are really afraid of things itching. And I decided to knit up this little sweater because it was knit in basically a weekend. But this is the garment. It's a pattern by Istex. It has, yeah, you can see the nice rustic wool. This one has been washed. I mean, look at this fabric. And this one is knit on 4.5mm needles. So it just flew by. And I needed this to put in the store so that people could actually touch the yarn, because it really isn't that itchy, of course. It's a rustic wool. I tell people ask me, they say that I hear that this yarn gets softer when you wash it. How soft does it get? And it's like, well, you can wash rustic wools as much as you like. It doesn't turn into silk. It doesn't. And if you are really afraid of things itching, then maybe rustic wool isn't something for you. Because I see that some people, they have never tried rustic wools, but they are sure that they will feel the itch from it. And I think that it's okay if you don't like the rustic wool, and it's been a lot of focus lately that you have to knit rustic wools to knit color work, and let me just tell you, you don't. For many reasons, rustic wool is very good for color work, but I mean, I'm knitting a kofta in alpaca and it's turning out okay. I don't think it's as pretty, and it will probably drape more than I like, but it's not ugly and you could totally do it. It's a little bit harder because the yarn is more slippery. A lot of Norwegian patterns for kofter and sweaters with color work are actually knit up in superwash wool, sock yarn, sisu, yarn with nylon, merino or alpaca. There's lots of kofters which are written for alpaca yarns, and there are lots of color work garments, especially for kids, that is written in superwash merino. And let me just tell you that those garments are by no means ugly. On the opposite, very many of them are really, really pretty, and I have knitted quite a few color work projects in merino. Right now I'm into rustic wools, but I have been into merino and I like merino. And yeah, I knitted a hat just before Christmas in merino, and it doesn't get, that's a superwash yarn, and because of the way that this wool fiber, it's kind of locks in on itself, so you have to stretch quite a bit to get it see-through. It's a little bit, I didn't plan to talk about this, so I don't have anything close to me that is superwash treated. Nope. But if you do this, stretch out a superwash yarn, or a superwash hat or garment or whatever, you will see a lot more of the light coming through, because it's just a lot more see-through. And basically, if you knit a hat in superwash merino, the wind will just come a little bit more through it than it will on this yarn. This kind of yarn will get warmer, but it will also itch a bit on some people. So you just kind of have to figure out what you want, because yes, it will get warmer, and yes, the kufte will probably stay nice longer. And now many of the rustic wool garments that my grandma made in the 70s are still very, very pretty. So it's a lot more durable. But for some people it will itch, especially if it's in a hat so that you get the brim here, or if it's up on your neck like in a sweater or something. I think for mittens it's a lot more you could get away. Even if you itch from rustic wool, you could do a lot more with mittens, because, well, your hands, I don't think you will itch on your hands. Maybe you will, but I don't think you would. And if you are going to knit like mittens and you feel, some people say that they feel just around the wrist that it itches, you could knit with a superwash yarn or a merino yarn, just a cuff of the, because many of like the Selby mittens and stuff, they have just a ribbed cuff. So you can knit a rib in a merino yarn, and then you can knit the colorwork in a wool yarn. It's the same with hats, like this one. This is knitted with rustic wool. This is a fingering weight, so it's quite easy to find something else. But you could just knit like the ribbing with superwash wool or merino, and then knit the colorwork in another wool. Or you can knit the ribbing, and then you can knit like a fold on edge, so you can, if you how to explain it, you knit like 4 centimeters rib in merino yarn, then you knit 4 centimeters of rib in a rustic wool, then you take the merino rib and you fold it inside, so basically you get a merino edge on the inside of the rustic wool edge. That works really well. I have tried it myself a long time ago, but that's a great way if you want to knit something like this. It's a hat, and very many people will find that it itches on their forehead, so you can knit a merino edge on that. My point is that if you think that rustic wools itch, you could just go for something else. It's not like you have to don't do colorwork because you don't like rustic wools. That's totally okay. You can knit colorwork in whatever yarn you like, be it cotton or alpaca or merino or whatever. It will actually, most things, it will look different, but it will not look ugly, let me tell you that. The other thing is that you shouldn't say that you don't like rustic wools without trying it. It is totally okay not to like rustic wools, but you should give it a chance. And if you give it a chance and you still don't like it, that is okay. So yeah, anyway, rustic wool, I knitted this. It's a size 3-year-old, so I'm going to, it's for Ludwig, but he won't get to use it this season, so I'm taking this to the store tomorrow to hang it up. Because people are taking the yarn and saying, ooh, this itches. And I could say, yeah, it does, but after washing, it will turn into this. And people say, ooh, that's pretty. That's my plan, to add more wool. I've done the same thing with kofte in finull, which most of you have probably heard about finull by now. I don't have anything finull here, I don't think. But it's basically a fingering weight. Norwegian wool yarn, which is very much used in Selby mittens and in kofte, which is basically all over stranded garments. And many people come in and they say that they want to knit a kofte and they want it to last for generations. What kind of yarns do they want to use? And I said, you should try the finull. And they take up the yarn and they say, ooh, this itches. And I said, well, you just feel this. And I have a kofte in finull. I said, just feel this. And it feels like, ooh, what kind of yarn is this? That's finull. because it has been washed and it's so much softer. And I see that the days I am wearing a garment in finer so that people can actually touch it, those days I think we sell more finer because people actually want to try it after they have had a finished garment. I should really make swatches in this kind of wool and put up in the store. I don't. I make this instead. So this one is going up in the store, and there's 4 colors of latlope. Yeah, I think that's all I'm going to say about that. You will see that I'm really kind of hooked on the latlope. I really like Norwegian wool, but these days rustic wools I really enjoy the Icelandic wool. And I think it's a little bit because it's knit on 4.5mm needles, so I really like garments that are knit on 2.5 and 3mm needles, but sometimes 4mm, you know, I have so many things that I would like to knit. So to knit something on 4mm needles, it just fly by and I can start the next project, which is why I have so many. I mean, this one is knit on 4.5, this one was knit on 6mm needles, and the next project was knit on 4.5mm needles, and that is why I have so many. I mean, if this was knitted on 3mm needles, I would never have gotten this much done in 2 weeks. The next project, I think I showed you the last time. I had just started them, and I said that it would be finished in no time, and it was. I think it was finished a couple of days after. I still haven't sewn in the ends because I'm horrible. Well, yeah. Actually, they are sewn in. I just haven't cut them. I sewn them in before I just have to cut off the ends. Give me a minute. It's the Klukka dress. This is also knit in this same yarn, which is latlope. And you start on the bottom and you make this sort of ribbed lace edging. Then there is this little bit of color work, which I didn't really think that I liked those roses, but I decided to knit the original pattern first, and maybe I will change it after, but I really do. Now that I've knitted it, it's really pretty. I didn't think it was my style, but now I think it is. Then there's a lot of skirt with decreases. There's a ribbing in the waist, which makes it a really nice shape. Then you continue to knit in the round up to under the arms. Then you divide and knit each part by itself, and graft it on the top of the shoulders, and do a little bit of crochet around the neckline and armholes. This is the crochet edge, just to finish it off. And this one is so pretty, and it just flew by. I think I knitted this one in under a week. And this is the original pattern with this and the original colors. But I'm thinking of making this maybe in, say, this color, and make another kind of color work on the bottom. I'm not sure, maybe something like the Selbu Star or something, and make it in another color which is a little bit more me. Either that one or this one, maybe those two together. I'm not sure, but I really want to make another one with something else on the bottom, another kind of. You could go, if you go to Ravelry and you search for the Klukka dress and you find it, and then you go into projects and sort by most popular. There are some really nice variations of this dress, and I want to make more, and this fits me really well. I will see if I can take a little video clip of me wearing it. I'm going to wear this with a long-sleeved black jumper and some black leggings. And I don't think I will get to change tonight because it's getting quite late. but you will follow me on Instagram, and there will be a post of this where I'm wearing it, and it fits me really, really well. And I want to wear more because I really want to dress pretty while I'm at work, and I work in the yarn store and we sell this yarn. It just seems like win-win. I get to wear a dress, and I get to show off the pretty yarn that we have in the store. And I kind of want to make more. I want to make more outfits. I want to make more skirts and dresses, because I'm in a position now where I can actually wear that to work. In my old job, which I'm still working my old job, like half the day, but I have changed. I have another customer now, which isn't so rough on my clothes, so I could get away with wearing a dress to that work as well, or to that job as well. So I have never been in a position where I'm able to wear dresses to work, but now I am. So I'm thinking that maybe I should start doing it, because I feel very well in a dress, and I feel that I look pretty, and also I get to show off the yarns that we sell in the store. I mean, seriously, who wouldn't like to wear this to work? So pretty. It's just above my knees, so it's really great. I think that I'm wearing that one tomorrow. Yes, I am. I'm wearing that one tomorrow. Yeah, with both of those, all of those three, both the striped sweater, the Kluka dress, and the yoke, I did follow the pattern exactly. I didn't do any changes to any changes to any of them. If I were to knit the striped sweater, for me, I would probably have made some changes on the way that the decreases are done up or around the neck. But because it was for the store, I kind of wanted to follow the pattern as it is written, because or else someone is coming into the store and they say, I want to knit that sweater, and you will have to tell them what kind of changes you have made. So it's just really, when you make something to show off a pattern in a yarn store, it's just simply easier to follow the pattern, because yeah, it's just this. So finished up works in progress. I only have 2 this week, and one of them is from this booklet from Roma. Let me just show you while we're at it and we are going on so many tangents. Let me just show you my favorite 3 booklets. This one, this one actually says something about the wool on the back. I haven't read it before. I will read it for the first time, and I will read it out loud to you. There is no substitute for pure new wool. Røros and Rauma yarns are made of pure Norwegian wool, one of Norway's many valuable natural resources. Røros and Rauma yarns are made in the traditional way on what we today call the woolen system, and are therefore light and economical in use, and particularly suitable for sweaters and jackets. Only the best wool is used in Røros and Rauma yarns, wool that will keep you warm when it's cool and cool when it's warm. Husfliden, the Norwegian Association for Arts and Crafts, has used Rauma yarn for over 50 years for its traditional Norwegian sweaters and jackets. You therefore buy with assurance when you buy Røros and Rauma yarns. And Røros yarns, I don't think I don't think the Røros yarns. It's a Røros lammull, of course. Never mind. But it's this booklet, this one, which I've recently seen on another podcast. I don't remember which one. I just know that I saw it. And this one. These are called LVS 3, 5 and 1. LVS 4, I have no idea what it is. I have tried searching for it, but I don't know. So if you know what LVS 4 is, let me know. LVS 2 is stockings for bunads and something more. I have actually tried to order that for the yarn store because I really want it, so I hope that we will get it. But this one has patterns for hat, mittens and stockings. It has these mittens, which are called lovikavotter. It isn't called that here, but this is what we call lovikavotter. We call it, in my area, we call it samevotter, which means Sápmi mittens, because of, I'm not sure, maybe we just called it that as kids, because it's kind of a little embroidery thing on the cuff here. And that one was very often made in yellow, red, blue and green, which are the colors of the Sápmi flag. And I live in the Sápmi area, or not Sápmi area, it's not, I'm lying here. I live in an area where there's lots of Sápmi people, and the 6th of February, which is Samefolkets dag, or the day of the Sápmi people, I don't know how to translate it. There was lots of things going on while we were in school, and we were learning about the history and the culture of the Sápmi people, which is really interesting. But I think maybe these mittens don't have anything to do with the Sápmi people, but it's just because the colors were used, and I have always thought those 4 colors together. I don't think of Ludo or board games or something like that. I think of the Sápmi people, because it's their color. So that's this. It also had this balaclava hat, which I'm thinking of making for Ludwig. It has a lot of other things. This one, I mean, look at these mittens. This is actually talking about wedding traditions in Selbu. Some gloves, more gloves, and then there are all of the patterns in the middle, which I won't show you. There are some charts, more gloves, pair of socks, baby socks, and lots of stockings. And I really want to make something from this page, but I can't decide on which one. See, so many pretty designs, scarves and hats and everything. Now we are really going on tangents here, but yeah, I just really wanted to show you that whilst I had it here. The last one is this one, and this one has lots of patterns for mittens and sets, among other this. And I am currently knitting these mittens, which are also these mittens. Yeah, there are lots of different stuff in here as well. It is the traditional, this is kind of what I think of as the traditional, the easiest Selbu mittens, which is what everyone is having. All the kids have those in school. A little more intricate one. Yeah, I'm just going to stop there. But I'm knitting mittens. I am of course using Rauma trätråd, which is a really nice rustic wool. It's the same as finull yarn, but whilst finull is 2-threaded, this one or finull is 2-ply, this one is 3-ply. So it's a DK weight, I think it will classify us, but I'm not sure. And I am using traditional colors. So this is so far I've gotten on the first mitten. This is the back of it. I have tried this time. Earlier I have just knitted in a thread where the thumb is going to be. But it's a little bit hard when you knit in a thread here and you are picking it up after. It's easy enough to pick up the stitches on the underside of the thread, but on the overside it's a little bit harder. So this time I put the stitches on hold. Then I casted on new stitches. And before I started knitting, I took a thread of waste yarn and just pulled through the stitches before I knit them. So I think that will make it easier for me to pick up the stitches, or the cast on stitches. But if not, I will just pull out that thread and pick them up normally. Because it's a little bit difficult. I'm not really sure what the best way to do it. I've heard both ways and the patterns are written for both ways. I haven't tried this way before, so I'm giving it a chance, because it's a little bit hard to pick up when you knit, and it's like an afterthought heel. And to pick up the stitches on, because you knit this way. So on the underside of the thumb, that's okay, but on the overside or the inside, it's a little bit harder because I don't really get the best result. I'm not sure why, but I am trying another technique and I will let you know how that goes. This is knit on 3mm needles. It is going to be for myself, I think. yeah, I think that's all I have to say. It has this, it has all the traditional parts. It has the Selby star, and this is traditional the way that the mittens traditionally. Let's see if I can find men's mittens to show you. This kind of cuff. This where you have strand knitting on the cuff as well. It was traditionally only for men's mittens. You can see that here as well. Yeah, the 4 on the top here, these two and these two are mittens for men's, and they have the colorwork cuff, whilst these two are mittens for women, and one of them have a ribbed cuff and one of them have a lace cuff, because traditionally this cuff, this pretty cuff, was only for men. The ladies, we had to, yeah, we just had to make do with the ribbed cuff, but I really like the ribbed cuff because it, yeah, it hugs my arms and it's warm, and yeah. So it has the rib cuff, which is traditional for the women's mittens. It has the Selby star. It has this kind of seam along the side, which will follow all the way on to the top, which the last 6 stitches on the needles is going to be those 2 seams. And it has the afterthought thumb with a thumb gusset. So, yeah, 3mm needles. I'm using Sings. I think it's 3mm. 3mm, yes. I'm using Sings mostly because that was what I had available at the time. Because, yeah, I don't really hate any of my needles. I like both the Sings and the carbons and the Harmony Wood needles, and I just knit with whatever I have, whatever I reached first. The last work in progress I'm going to talk about, I think I have used a little bit longer than I thought I would, but I'm going to show you this anyway. I'm not going to talk very much about it. But you can see this one, this baby, is really growing. And it's almost done. I think I need like 30 more squares, I think. And I am currently working on this side. This is the part I'm working on now. All of this from there and out, in both directions. Those 10 squares are minis from my advent calendar that I made for Arctic Yarns. This is the rest of the minis. So I'm making an own segment of the blanket, so to say, with yarns from my advent calendar. And after that, I think I missed like 6 skeins, and this is basically done, and I really love it. And I think that I'm going to finish it off with a crochet edge. I was thinking an I-cord, but I know that I wouldn't really enjoy making an I-cord of this size. So I think a crochet edge, but if you have any suggestions, please drop a comment down below, because I would like to figure out how to finish this up. And as soon as this one is finished, I am planning to cast on another one. I know that everyone else in the knitting community seems to be so over their scrappy blankets, but I'm not. I really enjoy working on this. I don't talk about it every week, but I'm put in a square every now and then, and the only thing that saddens me a bit, because of the fact that everyone seems to be so over it, is that I'm out of minis. So if anyone is going to Edinburgh and want to make a mini skein swap, please let me know. I will bring some minis, and maybe someone will swap with me, because I really want to make another one. And I want every mini skein to be different. I don't want to use the same mini skein twice, which basically means that I need a lot of minis. And because I am making these kind of blankets in like fingering weight shawl merino wool, and I am mostly knitting with rustic wool on thicker needles at the moment, I don't have that many minis. So if anyone wants to swap with me in Edinburgh or by post, drop a comment down below or send me a message on somewhere. But this one is really pretty, I mean, seriously. This one is actually some of the first. Where did it go there? This one is some of the first skeins that I added in. I got this in a swap that I did with Mina Philip way before I started podcasting, I think, or directly after I started podcasting. I won something for a knit along, and she sent these 6 along with them, and I had commented on those because she had knitted them into her Scrappy blanket like 6 months before, and I had commented on that photo that those are really pretty, really pretty. I still think they are. All of these they're just so super special, and I would like to get my hands off that yarn. It's called Toxic Unicorn or something like that, and it's just so awesome, and it's really hard to order it to Norway because of the tax. It is still as hard now as it was 2 years ago, but it's a little bit easier because I know what I'm doing. So maybe I will need to order that someday soon because they are really pretty. Anyway, I wrote a comment on Mina's Philip probably in the beginning of the year, and then in August I won, and this knit along was for her sunrise show. The knit along ended on the last day of August 2015. And I remember that because I came home. Ludvig is born on August 17th, and I came home from the hospital at August 22nd, and then I cast it on, and I actually managed to finish it before the knit long ran out, and then I won. And then Mina, she just remembered, I don't know how she does it, she just remembered that I had commented on those mini skeins like 6 months in advance, and I'm super impressed with that lady. I don't know, all that information in her brain, how does she store it? I want to be like that. Anyway, I just wanted to show you my mini skein blanket and show you that it is going to be, yeah, it's pretty. As for acquisitions, I bought this bag from House of Yarns, which they sell in basically most of the yarn stores in Norway that sell yarns from Dale or House of Yarns or Du Store Alpacka. House of Yarns basically owns Dale, Du Store Alpacka, Knit at Home, one more company, and Linde Garn, which is now sold at Nille. In this, I brought this with me from work today, and in this I have more Let Loppy. This one was a little bit, there was no orange there. Because I am going to knit the Afmali sweater. I'm going to use this as the main color and this one for the etchings. And then all of these 7 colors are going to be used in the yoke. I am not sure, I have bought this yarn, so it's not for the store, but I'm not sure if I will bring it to the store to show it off there for a little while before I start using it, or if I will bring this sweater to Edinburgh if I get finished before that. I haven't really decided yet, but that is what I'm planning to cast on next. It's the Afmali sweater and some mittens actually, because I have written up a chart for some Selby mittens and I have dyed some yarn, so I'm going to use this yarn, which is a DK weight pelt wool, which I'm going to sell in my store. I have the yarn, but I haven't dyed on it. I'm going to sell that in my store, and I'm going to make the pattern. And then I'm going to use this one together with an undyed skein of lamb's wool, which I'm also going to sell in my store someday. I really want to do it. It's just I really need the time to do it. Let me see. I'm just going to. So let's move on to Arctic Yarns. Arctic Yarns, if you're a new viewer, then Arctic Yarns is my company where I sell dye and sell hand-dyed yarn. Every now and then there might come in some project bags or some other goods. Actually now I have just designed some enamel pins which are coming to the store, and I'm really excited about that, but it seems like it will take a little while before I get them. I was hoping to get them before Edinburgh, but I'm thinking it will probably be more like late April, because it takes some time both to go get those produced and to get them shipped to Norway. They are made in the US, so just let you know. Anyway, if you have been shopping in my store, then thank you so much. This year so far has been amazing. Yeah, I'm speechless, and I have sold lots of both yarns and patterns, and it's making me... so basically now I'm out of pelt wool in the store on the Sully base. So I use this weekend because I have to take the weekends to dye some yarns. So I really wanted to dye, so I did. We have talked about this before, that I have stopped trying to make Arctic yarns a livable income. I now dye yarn or sew project bags or do whatever I want when I want, because I have a job that I really love, and I have no intention of quitting my job anymore. So Arctic yarns is now just a hobby, but I have dyed something over this weekend which is going up in the store. And basically I have dyed Sully pelt wool. I have dyed it in all the colors that I have listed in the color chart thing on my website. Among others, it is Water from the World's End, which is a really popular colorway. I have dyed some 3 Billy Goat Scruff, Trebukkene Bruse. These are all named after Norwegian fairy tales. This is the Troll, which I have. This is what I knitted my sweater that I test knitted for Scandir. I knitted that in this. And I have the King's Daughter, not Kongsdattera. And I have 6 more colors because I have a total of 10, but I didn't bring every color to show you. I just brought these 4. This is my favorite yarn at the moment. This, and yeah, I just love this. I want to make all the things in this. And the yarn that I'm bringing into my store someday soon is the same kind of yarn, but this is a DK, whilst this is a fingering sport weight. It's a rustic wool. It is perfect for any color work that requires finer yarn or yeah, those kind of yarns. And yeah, you can find it at my store. I haven't put it up yet, and I'm going to do that as soon as I can. You can see there's still, this one is going out, and there is going to be a label on it. So I'm labeling it. I'm going to make everything finished. I'm going to take some photos, I'm going to label it and make it ready to ship before I post it in the store. And if you want to get notified, this is going to be the last shop update for a while. Because in 2 weeks I'm going to Edinburgh, and basically I'm going to stay there for a week, and after that I know that I probably won't get to dye the first week. So it's basically going to be a month until the next time I get some dye time. So if you see something that you want, and you want it within the next couple of months, you should just go ahead and buy it now. And if you want to know exactly when I put it up, go on over to my website www.arcticyarns.com and scroll all the way down, subscribe to my newsletter, and I will pop you an email when I update the store. And I will not send you lots of other emails. That's it, only when I update the store, promise you. I have no intentions of spamming people's inboxes. I have been thinking about making a newsletter for a long time, but I didn't quite know how to. Not the technical stuff, I just didn't quite know what I wanted to put in the newsletter, and I feel that newsletters very often are kind of spammy. So I don't think I can call this a newsletter, but it's like a newsletter subscription, and it will tell you whenever I put something in the store, or I will write an email that I will send out there, and that's it. Because I don't want to spam people down in their inboxes. So basically, if you are not interested in buying my yarns, that is totally okay, but then you have no reason to subscribe to that newsletter, unless you want to buy some of my patterns, because those news are also coming in there. But it's going to be for pattern and yarns, and if you are not interested in that, that is totally okay. I won't get offended. I don't want to be one of those people who said, subscribe to my newsletter and get a free something something, and then you go subscribe to my newsletter to get a freebie, and after that you get like 10 emails a day. So I'm not going to give anything away to those. Only go subscribe to my newsletter if you really want to know what I'm up to. And also I realized that there has been a box that you can tick off in the when you are bought from my store before, which I've said subscribe to the newsletter. I didn't know that that box actually were there, because I have never really bought something in my store. But if you have done that before and maybe forgotten about it, because when I now decided to start a newsletter, it imported all of those contacts. But if you get my newsletter and you are not interested, just scroll all the way down in the newsletter, hit unsubscribe, and it will delete you from that email list, and that is totally okay. I can see how many subscribe and I can see who subscribes, but I probably won't even notice who unsubscribes, and if I do, I won't get offended anyway. So feel free to subscribe or not subscribe, whatever you like. The last segment that I'm going to talk about is going to be really brief because I think I've been talking forever, but that's Arctic living. And it's been 2 weeks since last time. The last time I talked to you, I said that we were going to Harstad, which is the next city over. And basically, I got to cut my hair, so my hair is a little bit shorter than it was last time I talked with you. We went there on Friday. We were just hanging out, having a good time. Saturday there was a little bit of shopping. Basically, all I bought was a swimsuit. I didn't even buy yarn. I wasn't to a yarn store, but I didn't buy anything. Then on Sunday we went to the swimming pool because we don't actually have a swimming pool in my city. Every school should have. You are in Norway at least. The government is. They have to teach. It's written in the law that the schools has to teach children how to swim. Still, there is no pool in my city, and the kids don't get to learn how to swim, and that's a real shame because we are a country with lots of coastline, and kids should learn how to swim. And also, go swimming in the morning is absolutely wonderful. We have one swimming pool in my city. That's a heated one, which is used for like I want to say sick people, but like if you have diseases in, I don't know what this is called in English, revmatologiske sykdommer in Norwegian, I don't know. But it's basically a heated pool, and it's not very deep, so it's really hard. I can't go swim there because I think it's like 70 centimeters on the lowest one. But I'm not on the deepest one, but on the shallowest one, and 150 maybe on the deepest one, so it's not something to go swim in. But we could go there, and we'd probably go there with Ludvig. But we went to Grottebadet, which is like a big bathing place, and we went there. We was there for several hours on Sunday. Ludvig was swimming and having a good time, and he hasn't been in a swimming pool for 1.5 years since we was in Bulgaria 2 years ago. So at the beginning he was a little bit afraid. He didn't really want to, because he's been in like this little bucket in the shower, but he hasn't really been in a swimming pool. So of course he was a little bit skeptical in the beginning, and we stayed where there was like the children's pool in the beginning, but then after a while he was more comfortable with just holding on around my neck, and we went swimming together. And they have this Grottebadet basically translates into cave bath, and it's basically a cave, and there's made lots of these little caves inside of the facility. So we went into one of those caves, just a family, and there was benches around where he could stand and walk around. And at one point they actually fall off the bench, and it's like 1.5 meter deep, so he got his head under water, but that was okay. Of course, he wasn't alone. We grabbed him right away, but he was okay with that. So at the end of the day, he was putting his head under water by himself and enjoying himself, and he says that Ludvig borte, which basically means Ludvig gone. So he put his head under water, and then he come up and said, "Where's Ludvig? Where was Ludvig? Ludvig was gone for a moment." Probably because I got underwater, and Sunday said, "Where's mommy? Mommy's gone." But we were having a lot of fun, and we really want to go to the swimming pool more with Ludvig. After we got home, we got sick. Every single one of us. Sondre was sick first, and Ludvig got sick, and I wasn't really. Both of them was like really sick. I was just a little bit sick, to put it that way. But we're all better now. Or Ludvig is still sick, and he's coughing a little bit, and he has a fever. He has had for a week. So, but I'm hoping that he will be better soon. But it's a little bit. Yeah, it takes a little bit out of the day, but that's okay. It's what it's like to have kids, and I love him, and he's super adorable, and it's kind of cozy because he will actually come sit in the sofa with me and come sleep together with me. Yeah, I shouldn't enjoy my kid being sick, but of course I don't, because I really like to. I really want to see him having a good time. but it is a little bit nice that he wants to cozy up with his mom. And with that, I will just say bye, and I will see you again one more time before Edinburgh, hopefully. And I will see you in Edinburgh, and I can't wait to meet so many great people again. And thank you for watching.